Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another Transformers review. Today, we're taking a look at from the Age of Extinction Power Battlers line, Scorn. Deluxe Scorn is one of the most popular figures of the Age of Extinction line thus far in the Deluxe class. So I was kind of eager to see how the Power Battler version, or Fast Action Battler, One Step, whatever you want to call them, works out. And I have to say, I kind of like this figure. It's kind of fun. It has a unique gimmick, which we'll get to in a minute. It does have some articulation. You have some elbow movement here in the arms. There is some rotation here at the arms, but I think part of it is connected into the gimmick. The legs, unfortunately, can only swivel forward and back ever so slightly, and there is a rotation here at the knee, but that's all for the transformation, and the legs are where the gimmick comes from. Now, coming around the back here, there is some articulation to the tail. It can bend, and that actually can help with stability, straighten it out to help them balance, or bend it up if you don't want it touching the ground. The gimmick, which is a tail whip type of action, you want to make sure the tail is straight. I mean, it will straighten out anyway. But again, I recommend grabbing from the front, keeping your hand as flat as possible, and you're going to squeeze the legs together, just like this. And the tail will whip forward. Basically, the torso is rotating and bringing the tail over. And in doing so, we get another head. Let me come in and give you a close look at the two heads. This is the standard head where the gimmick is not engaged. Looks like the deluxe figure. And then when you engage the gimmick, and it's got to be see, I'm having a hard time doing it on camera because it's really, the best is to just keep it flat. You have this head where, as you can see, the visor is now painted this turquoise blue, and you have some fire highlights. So it's actually this one leg right here where it controls the gimmick. This one is static and fixed. Now, like all the other power battlers and one-steppers, this is Scorn is supposedly supposed to have a simplified transformation, for which I'll bring the instructions right now. And they claim to do them in 8 steps. Now, while not as bad as Drift, there are a few things they kind of gloss over and don't mention. First of all, I wish they would have better instructions on how to use the one-step gimmick. That's not for me. That's for the kids. But yeah, let's pause here, have a drink of water or seltzer, and we'll get into the transformation. Okay, now for the transformation, you want to just make sure the arms of Scorn are down at the side and it's in a neutral, relaxed position. The first step is to rotate the hand outward. I do like the detailed sculpt on the inside here to make it look like hands, even though it's the dinosaur head. And you want to go ahead and then flip forward what will be the claws in dinosaur mode. Come around the back here, and this is where things get a little tricky. They show you closing up these back panels. Well, these are on soft rubber, and they really don't stay closed. Another thing you want to do is go ahead and straighten out the tail here, and it will actually peg in to the back. That'll help secure things. Now, what I recommend, due to the soft rubber, is you want to come in with your thumb underneath and actually push on the hinge, which is a little tighter and a little stronger, instead of pulling from the rubber, because that just might actually end up causing it to tear. Now, there's no real way for this to peg together. Obviously, it looks like one side is supposed to hook into the other, and that just really doesn't happen on my figure. And it's not like anything's warped or anything, it's just the soft plastic doesn't work. So that's your step 3. Step 4, you come back around, is flip the arms up at the shoulder, and this will then form your dinosaur head, neck, and torso, and things will snap together like such, making, look, you got a flying dino. And so that's actually step 4 is flipping things up. Step 5 is pegging it all together. Step 6 is bending the figure at the hips, getting ready for finishing off the dinosaur mode. Step 7 is rotating the legs around. Now again, they only show one leg. Technically, I would consider this 2 steps, since unless you have some magical dexterity, I can only really rotate one leg at a time. And there you have Scorn in his dinosaur mode. So, yeah, it's roughly 8 steps. I would say it's more like 9 or 10, but whatever. Dinosaur mode is very nice. You do have some articulation here at the neck due to those elbow joints, so you can have the head facing up. The tail still has some posability here at this joint, but other than that, everything's pretty much fixed and static. The legs are in a somewhat bent pose due to the way they rotate, and because of the hip gimmick, one's going to be facing out ever so slightly, but it's really not that bad. It's a cool looking figure. I'd actually say this is almost as good looking as the Construct Bots version, but maybe not as good looking as the Deluxe. I wish the head could move a little, but I can understand why it can't. I mean, the jaw there, because of the fact that it's the hands, but that's about it. So yeah, my final thoughts on Scorn, definitely worth picking up. It is a fun figure. I don't know how many of the other Dinobots we're going to get in this Power Battlers line. I would hope we would see Grimlock, since we are seeing Optimus Prime at some point with a sword slashing gimmick. But other than that, who knows? I think this is great for slightly older kids. And like I said, these are, I think, the best of the simplified Transformers. The gimmick is fun, and I think the kids will get a good kick out of the whole squeezing and tail whipping. And just be careful with your hands, because these spikes, they're soft plastic, but they kind of do hurt when they constantly whip into your hand over and over like that. So yeah, definitely worth a pickup. This is your old pal Chuck, or Scorn. We'll see you next time.